Hello, everyone. This is McPick, the musician gamer, and today we are going to look at a game that was suggested to me by a friend called Frequency Missing. I have not played this game yet, so
Hammer, timer, button.
this is
Photography, games folder, games folder.
going
19
to be
apps.
a
Six,
first.
opening games. Warship, left, Battlefruit. Page 1 of 3. Page 3 of 3. Frequency missing.
There it is.
Double tap to open.
Frequency Missing. This is going to be a first reaction / playthrough. So, yeah.
Speech off.
Don't think I'll need voiceover on for this.
Welcome to Frequency Missing. This game is played in landscape mode with the home button to the right. In Frequency Missing, you can explore menus and the game world by dragging one finger across the screen to listen for objects. When you find an object you want to use, release your finger. Remember to wear your headphones correctly to separate right and left, right and left. Now you will try to find an object in the game world. Hold down one finger on the screen.
Okay, so let's hold down one
Hold
finger.
down one finger on the screen.
Yes, I heard you. Thank you.
You can now hear a person whistling. Drag your finger toward the sound until you hear a click.
Now, we're doing this without headphones, so
You can now hear a person whistling. You released your finger before you had found the object. You can now hear a person whistling. Drag your finger toward the sound until you hear a click. You released your finger. You can now hear a person whistling. Drag your finger toward the... You can now hear a person whistling. Drag your finger toward the sound until you hear a click. You can now hear a person whistling. You released your finger before you had found the object. Remember to keep your finger on the screen until you find the object and hear the click. Hold down one finger. You can now hear a person whistling.
Yeah.
Drag
no,
your
can
finger
you
toward
be
the
quiet so I
sound
can listen?
until you hear a click.
Thank you.
You can now hear a person whistling. Drag your finger toward the sound until you hear a click. Good. Now,
Hello.
perfect. You found a person and have started a conversation. Hold down one finger on the screen and move it up and down to hear topics to choose from. Release your finger to select. Now, give it a shot. Try to talk about the weather. Economy. Drag your finger up and down on the screen to hear topic sports. Economy. Drag your finger up and down on...
I have no interest in that.
You picked the wrong topic. Hold down one finger on the screen and move it up and down to hear topics to choose from. Release your finger to select. Now, give it a shot. Try to talk about the weather. Economy. Drag your finger up and down. The weather.
The weather is great.
Good. Now choose buy and let's move on. Travel. Food. Beverage. Food. Travel. Buy.
Bye.
Good. That's it for the tutorial. Now choose New Game in the menu to start the game.
Oh, okay.
Main menu.
Okay.
New Game. The game autosaves so you can pick up where you left off.
Oh, my head. What happened? Where am I? It's so dark. Ouch! I'm locked in! Help!
Must have
Is someone
hurt.
there? I probably shouldn't have done that. If they hear me, they might knock me out again. I hear some rattling. If I feel around, I might be able to locate where that noise is coming from.
Hold on, I'm just seeing.
If I feel around, I might find something.
Okay. Mr. Rattle.
If I drag my finger along the wall, I might hear something that could help me escape.
I feel like I'm.
I could listen around by slowly moving my finger. A screw!
Yeah.
I might be able to pry it loose with my hands.
There we go.
There we go. It's still locked. Maybe there are more screws.
So what do I do here? This is
If I feel around, I might find something.
now. Let's go this way with it.
If I drag my finger along the wall, I might hear something that could help me escape.
I'm having to do this in different swiping gestures.
Another screw!
There we go.
It's starting to give way.
Ooh, one more. There better be one more. Maybe over here. It's over there. Like I said, I'm having to do this in multiple swipes. Oh, not that time.
Yes!
Chapter 1. 3 days earlier.
Dun dun dun. 3 days earlier.
April 13th, 8:35 a.m. My first day at work as a reporter for Radio IDUN. Richard would have welcomed me and showed me around, but he disappeared 3 days ago. I'm really worried. Carl might know something about where he is.
Like I said, guys, we are not doing this game with headphones right now. Why? Don't ask. Am I supposed to do something? Oh.
Hi, Carl. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Patricia. Just fine. How are you settling in?
It's a lot to process in a short amount of time.
Yes. Something on your mind?
The radio station. The radio station. The chief. The chief. Enough about work. The chief. The radio station. Carl's job.
Oops, what did I just do? 1 second, guys.
Kitchen. iPhone. Not playing.
Oops.
iPhone. Not playing. Actions available. Closing games folder. Power. Button.
Go on.
Cap P. Services in use. Cellular. 2 of 4 bars. Signals. Rogers. Status bar
1
item.
second. It did
Frequency
something.
missing. Direct touch area.
Time for me yet.
Use the
What
rotor
is
to
he
enable
like?
direct touch for this app.
He can be a bit difficult to deal with sometimes. He wants to be one of the crew and make good broadcasts, but he also wants to make his bosses happy.
Oh, he's not in charge?
No. He only runs our department, even if he sometimes acts like he runs the whole station.
Again, did not mean to do that, guys. I accidentally closed the game for a sec. But we're good. We're back.
The chief. Enough. The chief. Enough. The chief. The radio station. Well, I got a quick tour yesterday, but maybe you can tell me more about the radio station.
I don't know what to say. The building is a bit much for my taste. It was originally built as a royal library, apparently. I'm sure Monica at the reception can tell you more about the station.
Carl's job. The radio station. Carl's job. I don't think I've asked you what you do around here.
That's all right. I work as a fact checker and audio technician.
What does a fact checker do?
I check that all the facts are correct.
And as an audio technician?
I make sure that your segments sound good on the air.
Okay, that's simple enough.
The chief. The radio station. The chief. Enough about work. The chief. The radio station. Carl's job. The radio station. Carl's job. I don't think I've asked you what you do around here.
That's all right. I work as a fact checker and audio technician.
Oh, okay.
What does a
we already did
fact
that.
checker do?
I check that all the facts are correct.
And as an audio technician?
I make sure that your segments sound good on the air.
The chief. The radio station. The chief. Enough about work. The chief. Enough about work. The chief.
We do this one?
The radio station. Carl's job. The chief. Enough about work. The chief.
Did I do this one already?
The chief has barely had time for me yet. What is he like?
He can be a bit difficult to deal with sometimes. He wants to be one of the crew and make good broadcasts, but he also wants to make his
yeah.
bosses happy.
Oh, he's not in charge?
No, he only runs our department, even if he sometimes acts like he runs the whole
Okay,
station.
so we already did everything.
The radio station. The chief. Enough about work.
I don't understand why they don't eliminate what you've already talked to the person about, but
Thank you. Richard. New at work. Richard. Goodbye. Richard. New at work. New at work. New at work. Richard. New at work. It's a lot to process in a short amount of time.
Yes. Something on your mind?
oh, we did this.
The radio station. The chief. Enough about work. Thank you. Richard. Goodbye. Richard. New at work. New at work. Richard. Have you read the newspaper today?
No. What's on your mind?
It said the police have closed the investigation on Richard's disappearance.
What? No one has seen him in 3 days.
I know! They claim there's no indication that a crime has been committed. How can they not care about what happened?
I'm sorry. I know you're good friends. Is there anything I can do?
Thank you, but I don't think so. I was so happy when he got me this job and was really looking forward to working with him.
In case you guys are wondering, no, I am not using the phone the way it said I should, which I probably should have, but whatever. Beside the point.
Richard's job. Richard's disappearance. Richard's job. Enough about Richard. Richard's job.
Let's do this one.
Do you know what he was working on?
Some stories, but nothing that would explain his disappearance. You spent a lot of time together. He never told you anything?
No, but I got this feeling he wanted to tell me something but couldn't. I thought it might have something to do with what he was working on. Richard's job. Richard's disappearance. Enough about Richard's disappearance. Do you know anything about Richard's disappearance?
No, nothing. I was going to snoop around in his office, but someone had locked it.
Do you think there's anything in there?
I don't know. But he spent a lot of late nights in his office. I thought maybe he had left some notes about what he was working on.
Seems like an interesting game.
Richard's job. Richard's disappearance. Enough about Rich. Thank you. Richard. New at work. Richard. Goodbye. Thanks, Carl. I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Now, what do we do?
Hi, Carl. Richard. New at work. Richard. Goodbye. Richard. Goodbye. Thanks, Carl. I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Okay, so now where do we go?
Carl, what is that device? It doesn't look like an ordinary tape recorder.
Nope, I built it myself. I use it to edit your broadcasts. It's pretty ingenious if you ask me.
Okay.
Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
Don't interrupt voiceover. Thank you. If anyone's wondering, do I know where I'm going? No, I don't. It's in here.
Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app.
Where are we going? Where am I going? I didn't do anything. Don't give me that loud noise. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna... Oh, hey.
The lobby.
Hello, there's
The
a
radio station's lobby. Grandiose and awe-inspiring. You can't help but be impressed by it.
Oh, there's a lobby. What's in here?
The chief's office.
Can I go in?
A well-furnished office that smells of leather and cigars.
Greenwood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie, your host, with today's news. But first, a little music.
Excuse me, Chief. Do you have a minute?
Yes, 1 minute. What do you want?
Okay, very grumpy person. Very grumpy person.
Richard has disappeared. Locked office. Goodbye. Richard has disappeared. What do you know about Richard's disappearance?
Only what the police have said.
And what is that?
Nothing.
Aren't you concerned about your employees?
Of course I am. There's just not a whole lot I can do about it. We've got radio to produce. I don't have time to worry about something that's out of my hands. I'm sorry, I know the two of you were friends.
But you're the manager. You can't just sit there and hope for the best.
Careful now. Richard's recommendation is the only reason you're here.
Extremely grumpy person, maybe? I don't know.
Richard has disappeared. Locked office.
Let's talk to him.
Why is Richard's office locked?
The police have already investigated it. They didn't find anything. You have to understand, I don't want other people running around in there causing even more trouble.
They must have missed something.
Are you doubting the police's competence? Stop meddling with things you don't understand and go do your job.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
The world's leaders meet in a summit on the environment. The conflict in the South is escalating, and Greenwood Steel is the manager. I'm Stephanie, your host, with today's news. But first,
Where was that thing?
A radio. He's listening to the broadcast from the newsroom. I suppose he needs to keep an ear on things.
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. But how do I get out of here?
A key cabinet.
Get away from there. Do you often rummage through other people's belongings?
The key to Richard's office is probably in there, but I'll never get to it as long as the chief is here.
I really don't have time for you right now. Go to the newsroom. Maybe you can learn a thing or two about live broadcasting.
Okay, big question. How do I get out of here again? That is...
is in sight, but it will require all involved parties to return to the negotiating table. Everyone here at Radio IDUN is wishing for the swift return home of everyone stuck in the area. In financial news, it was announced today
The key cabinet.
I told you to go to the newsroom.
I am. I just don't know how to get out of here.
to improve security
I think I out of this room.
and work environment with fewer accidents.
Big question. Where's the exit? Is it down here?
The world's leaders meet in a summit on the environment. The conflict in the South is escalating, and Greywood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie, your host, with today's news. But first, a little music.
I told you to go to the newsroom.
Yes. I'm going. I think. I'm going to the newsroom. I'm going, I think. Just, I just don't know how to get out of this room. Well,
A radio.
Today's news. The Prime Minister opened this year's environmental summit by addressing the assembled world leaders. In a short statement, she later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving forward. It's too early to draw any conclusions. In international news, the conflict in the South is escalating. The mediators believe a solution is in sight, but it will require all involved parties to return to the Everyone here at Radio IDUN is wishing for the swift return home of everyone stuck in the area. In financial news, it was announced today that Anderson is the manager of Greywood Steel. In a statement, he says he wants to work with the miners
we have
to improve
bad news?
security and create a safer
Bad news is
environment.
I don't know how to get out of this room. Never mind.
The key cabinet.
I told you to go to the newsroom.
Oops. Wrong way.
The conflict in the South is escalating, and Greywood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie, your host, with today's news. But first, a little music.
Put the key cabinet.
The lobby.
Ah, the lobby. Yay. Well, good news, everyone. We found the way out. Bad news. Exit. What's this?
The newsroom. Monica, the chief said I could go in.
All right, just be careful and don't do anything to disturb them.
Okay, I'm walking in.
The newsroom. Furnishings are simple and functional. It's the heart of the station.
World leaders. In a short statement, she later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving forward, but it is too early to draw any conclusions. In international news, the conflict in the south is escalating. The mediators believe a solution is in sight, but it will require all involved parties to return to the negotiating table. Everyone
A
here at
large
Radio
switch.
IDUN
Do I
is
dare
wishing
pull
for
it?
the swift
No,
return
you
home
do not.
of everyone stuck in the area. In financial
Yes.
news, it was announced today that Anderson
Yeah,
is
no.
the new manager
Yes.
of Great
Yes.
Steel.
No.
In a statement,
Yes.
he says he wants
No.
to work with the miners
Yes.
to improve
No.
security and
No,
create
we do
a
not.
That
safer
probably
work
would have shut down the whole
environment with fewer
studio.
accidents.
We did not pull the switch. We did not pull the giant switch. No, I was tempted to pull the switch.
The world's leaders meet in a
Stephanie
summit on
is in the
environment.
speaker booth,
The
doing a live
conflict in the south
broadcast.
is escalating, and Great
Apparently,
Steel
she
has
will
a
be
new
my
manager.
mentor,
I'm
now that
Stephanie,
Richard
your
is
host,
gone.
With today's news. But first, a little music.
So, do I just wait for her? Or do you wait?
Stephanie. Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
Today's news. The Prime Minister opened this year's environmental summit by addressing the assembled world leaders. In a short statement,
Stephanie.
he later said the future looks bright and that negotiations
Why
are
does
moving
part of me
forward,
want to pull that
but it
switch
is too
again?
early to draw
No,
any
I
conclusions.
can't. But just, yeah.
In international news, the conflict in the south is escalating. The mediators believe a solution is in sight, but it will require all involved parties to return to the negotiating table.
A large
Everyone here at
switch.
Radio
Do I dare
IDUN
pull it?
is wishing for the swift return home of everyone
Yes.
stuck in the
No.
area.
Yes.
In financial
No.
news, it was
Yes.
announced today that
You know what?
Anderson
I wanna see what
is the
happened.
new
You-
manager-
Oopsies.
What the heck are you doing?
Put it in good.
What are you doing, Butterfingers? You just interrupted a live broadcast.
I'm sorry. I lost my balance and fell on the switch.
Get out.
Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but it should keep him busy for a while.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot.
The radio station's receptionist. Hello, Monica.
Good morning, Patricia. What can I do for you?
Give me the key.
Richard's disappearance. Goodbye. Rich coworkers. The radio station. The radio
Let's
station.
talk about this.
How many people work here?
Well, we have 60 employees, the biggest and best radio station in the country.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Don't care.
Work. The office. Work. My job. Work. The office.
Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable
What is
direct touch for
everyone
this
doing
app.
here?
Well, most of them are reporters like you. There's a lot that goes into making good broadcasts, so we also have several audio technicians and lots of administration.
Okay, cool.
My job. Work. My job. Enough about the state. My job. Work. My job. Work. The office. Work. What is everyone doing here?
Oh.
Well, most of them are reporters like you. There's a lot that goes into making good broadcasts, so we also have several audio technicians and lots of administration.
Okay, that's good to know.
My job. Work. The office. The office. Work. The office. Where does everyone sit?
The management use the top floors, of course. They enjoy the view, you see. Down here's the newsroom. You can find some of the reporters, audio technicians, and the department chief here. Between us and the top, there are more reporters and administrators.
Okay, good.
Work. My job. Do you know what I'm supposed to do here?
Don't you know?
Yes, but the chief just told me to get acquainted with the station.
I suppose you'll start with a few small stories here and there. But regardless of what you get to do, you should be proud and happy you're working for this fine radio station.
Okay.
Work. My job. Enough about the station. Thank you. Goodbye. Richard's disappearance. Coworkers. The radio station. Coworkers. What can you tell me about our colleagues?
Who do you have in mind?
Carl. Stephanie. Enough about colleagues. Stephanie. Carl. The chief. Carl. The chief.
Let's ask about the grumpy, weird chief guy.
What is the chief like?
He's an orderly man that knows how to take charge. But between you and me, he can be a bit grumpy sometimes. Oof.
Told you. Grumpy. He's grumpy. He's very grumpy.
Carl. The chief. Carl. What's Carl like?
He's a fun guy that gets along with pretty much everyone at the station. Officially, he's a fact checker, but he mostly works on the audio for the broadcasts.
Carl. Stephanie. Apparently Stephanie will be my mentor. What is she like?
Oh, is she going to be your mentor? She's pedantic, very skillful, and a respected news anchor. But if you ask me, she can be a bit stuck up sometimes.
Okay, cool.
Carl. Stephanie. Enough about colleagues. Thank you. Richard's disappearance. Coworkers. Richard's disappearance. Do you know anything about what's happened to Richard?
Well, not more than anyone else, I believe. The police were snooping around here a few days ago, and I'm reading that they don't think a crime has been committed.
Snooping.
It's good that they investigated, but they could have done it without disturbing everyone. To be honest, we didn't get along very well. He was a very good reporter, but he didn't always think the rules applied to him.
Thanks, Monica.
Hey, I wasn't done talking to you? I guess I was. Fine, I was done talking to you. Yes. Continue.
The chief's office.
Aha. Hee hee. Where is that?
The lobby.
Ah, nope.
The chief's office.
Just get me in here.
The lobby.
Ah, no, that's not where I want to go. Can we back to the chief's office? Hey. Where'd you go? Get back to your office. Get. What? Fine. What's that? Let's see. Where'd you go? What's that? Click, click, click. Sometimes it's not easy trying to stop right when it makes that.
the newsroom. The chief is sure to fire me if I go in there again.
Okay, we are not going into the newsroom. Nope, we are going over here. We're going this way. Oh. Okay. New idea, everyone. We do not go back to the newsroom. I was told to stay out of the newsroom. So we're going to attempt to find the office again. Which is over here somewhere.
Richard's office. It's locked. Could there be a clue to his disappearance in there?
Oh, good news. I found the office.
Cap D.
You know what? Go down. Okay, by the way, when I say down, I mean right. Okay, let's try it this way. Hey, I almost had it. Where is it? Mr. Clickety Click, get back here. I stopped right when it... Well, kind of stopped right when it went off. I'm still going around in circles. Whee! Okay, I'm done. Why does everything in this game almost have to make the same sounds?
Direct touch area.
The newsroom. The chief is sure to fire me if I go in there again.
Now, where in the hell did that chief's office go again? Maybe over here. I forgot. I wandered away. Whee! Let's go down here. Whee! Yes, if you guys want to know, if you guys want to know, I'm having fun zigzagging through the screen. I'm not being sarcastic. I kind of am. We. Oh, I went too far. Okay, where did you go, Mr. Office? Also, well, yeah, let's be here.
I.
Now I'm just literally just tapping randomly on the screen. I'm not even scrolling. Why? I don't know. Okay, now I'm scrolling. Wee. Okay, you know what? I might. I know there was a. What's over here? I know there wasn't much done on this game, but I might call it quits in a sec. What do you mean you're gonna be for?
The chief's office.
R.
Oopsies, that's my fault. It's unworking. Look, it's unworking radio now. Eh. Hey guys, we have an unworking radio. My phone. Then again, who needs a radio? Just kidding. Don't tell anyone I said that. There was rattling over here. I must investigate this rattling. Where's the rattling? Rattling, where'd you go? I was investigating you. Get back here. Hey, don't at me. That was rude. Kind of rude.
E.
Just kidding. Back here, you little noisemaker. Hey, you clicked and I stopped. Well, maybe I didn't stop right away. That was not to happen. Ow.
C. C. E. Direct touch area.
Like if you did not do that to me, phone. Okay. Oops, so I would slow it.
E.
This key looks like it could open the door to Richard's office.
I don't care whose fault it is. It's your job to make sure these things don't happen.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. We're working as fast as we can. It's good of you to remind me.
We had some temporary technical difficulties, but they're now taken care of, and we will continue with the broadcast.
Oh, the broadcast is up and running again. I better get out of here.
Today's news. The Prime Minister opened this year's Environmental Summit by addressing the assembled world leaders. In a short statement, she later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving forward, but it is too early to draw any conclusions. In international news, the conflict in the south is escalating. The mediators believe a
Well, that's my cue to exit this room somehow.
everyone
C.
here at Radio IDUN is wishing for the swift return home of everyone stuck in the area. In financial news, it was announced today that Anderson is the new manager of Greywood Steel. In a statement, he says he wants to work with the miners to improve security and create a safer work environment with fewer accidents.
The key cabinet.
Leaders meet in a summit on the environment. The conflict in the south is escalating, and Greywood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie, your host.
Okay,
with today's news.
this is interesting, guys. I did not touch the screen, and it just did that. Okay, then. I don't think I even touched the screen. Okay, then. Well, now I did.
C. E. Direct touch area.
Today's news. The Prime Minister opened this year's Environmental Summit by addressing the assembled world leaders. In a short statement, she later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving forward, but it is too early to draw any conclusions. In international news, the conflict in the south is escalating. The mediators believe a solution is in sight, but it will require all involved parties to return to the negotiating table. Everyone here at Radio IDUN is wishing for the swift
A radio.
of everyone stuck in the area. In financial news, it was announced today that Anderson is the new manager of Greywood Steel. In a statement, he says he wants to work with the
E.
miners to improve security and create a safer work environment with fewer accidents. The world's leaders meet in a summit on the environment. The conflict in the south is
The key
escalating,
cabinet.
and Greywood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie, your host, with today's news. But first, a little music.
E.
Today's news. The Prime Minister opened this year's Environmental Summit by addressing the assembled world leaders. In a short
E.
statement, she later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving forward, but it is too early to draw any conclusions. In international news, the conflict in the south is escalating. The mediators believe a solution is in sight, but it will require all involved
E.
parties to return to the negotiating table.
R.
Everyone here at Radio IDUN is wishing for the swift return home of everyone stuck in the area. In financial news, it was announced today that Anderson is the new manager of Greywood Steel. In a statement, he says he wants to work with the miners to improve security and create a safer work environment with fewer accidents. environment. The conflict in the south is escalating, and Greywood Steel has a new manager. I'm Stephanie.
Okay.
But first, a little music.
Well, we might swap them. Well,
Cap D.
my phone.
The Prime Minister opened this year's environmental summit by addressing the assembled world leaders.
Okay,
She later said the future looks bright and that negotiations are moving,
Direct touch area.
that's
drawing a conclusion.
A radio.
And internationally, the conflict in the south is escalating. The
gonna be all for that.
Cap D.
This,
I-R-E.
that's gonna be all for this video. If what I do stops the
2:14 a.m. 21 notifications. Messenger. Group. 2. Messenger. Group. 11 minutes
never
ago.
mind
Night manager. Trading. Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this. Rent portrait.
Thank you.
Search. Photography folder. Messages. Double tap to open. 46% battery
Okay,
power.
then.
SHA. 46% battery power. Not charging. 46%. SHAW. 2:15 a.m. SHA. 2. Screen recording. Double tap to open up. Actions available. 2:15 a.m. Control center. 46%. Airplane mode. AirDrop. Wi-Fi. More control. Select. iPhone.
Like
Selected. AirPlay audio. Button.
said,
Actions available. Timer. Button. Camera. Selected.
Is it?
Selected. Screen recording. Button. Double tap and hold to show.